Okay, so for years the clickbaity title thing has been that you can LS swap any vehicle you have laying around for 50 bucks. That's just not true. We all know that by now. But today we're going to go over a few things of what it actually takes, especially on any square body truck. There's a few things that will really save some cash. And I'm pumped that I kind of found out a few things on this build, because it takes a lot of time and a lot of research. And I'm going to put this out so that guys can copy and paste and do whatever they want with it, because I think it's important. Because an LS swap, at the end of the day, they get a lot of hate because it's easy and whatever. But an LS swap has allowed me to take this truck on the best adventures and road trips, and I actually drive it. It doesn't look perfect, it's not clean, and it has mismatched wheels, because I'm running a Chevy axle on the back of it. That's what I had, but I've taken it from Kansas City to Colorado and Nebraska and Illinois. I've drove this thing everywhere, and it's been a blast. So let's go over a few things so you can get your project truck done, and you can get on the road, and you can go on cool adventures, because that's what it's all about. Okay, first items on the list, the big ticket, the engine, the trans, all that stuff. The easiest thing to do is to get a truck. Find something wrecked, find something cheap. You can find, cheap, regular 4.853 trucks with a 4L60. Most of them run and drive fine. Find yourself one of those. As long as you get the engine and trans, you're kind of good. You get some universal engine mounts. You can get that in there. My advice would be, don't look at it as a hot rod. Get it running, get it on the road. 250 horsepower will take you to town and back all day. And here's the big thing. If you get a truck with all this in there, what you get is a core support. This is a stock core support out of a Chevy Silverado. You're gonna have to find one with electric fans. But if you do this, you've got stock hoses, stock fans. You can even run a stock relay box for the fans. And although I should probably wire mine in, I'm not hot rodding this thing to the point where I need to turn my fans on earlier, so it's fine. It's done everything I've needed it to do. Honestly, after that, so with the core support, you just bolt to the factory core support. It all fits in there fine. This engine is pushed way forward because I wanted it to be easy to take in and out if I needed to, which has actually been really good because this is the third LS that's been in this. Other than that, especially on these, you can throw some cheap headers on, cheap fuel system, and you're going a long ways with some pretty factory stuff. Also, if you don't hot rod this thing to death right off the bat, then you can just go to the parts store or marketplace or whatever. You can find parts. The only thing that I really worry about if I needed something is an injector, because I run decaps, but I keep an extra, and a fuel pump. I keep an extra. That's it. Everything on this thing, you can pretty much just go to your parts store and pick up something stock. Okay, first big question that I had was power steering. LS, every one of these old square body trucks runs the old steering box. If you get the right hoses, they just hook up. They just work. That's all I'm gonna tell you, because I don't know what hoses you exactly need, but I got a bunch and figured it out, and it just worked. Second, fuel system. Inline filters are not as reliable. Being that this is a road trip rig, I wanted this an in-tank, but I can't afford some $1,500 fuel cell whole system. So, universal bracket, hose clamp your fuel pump onto your bracket, get a cheap fuel cell. Usually all the openings are universal. And the wiring's a mess on this because I had a bit of a wiring issue. Bad connector and it fried everything. But for less than 500 bucks, I have an actual in-tank fuel system that so far has done awesome. And that is just a cheap eBay tank. There's nothing special about that. Now, I did spring for a B&M shifter because I didn't want to deal with a cheap one smoking my transmission. So I did go with a decent shifter. Weld that guy up, you'd be all right. As for the rest of it, cheap eBay part, I think, actual new, get yourself decent O2 sensors and stuff. But you don't need the nicest intake. Just get it away from the engine. It'll flow enough air and it'll be cool. Engine tray, that's a oil pan tray that I welded up. But, you know, throw your battery somewhere. Not too big of a deal. Had to rig this up. Universal, well, not universal. This is out of like a Jeep Liberty or something. But had to have that when I climbed Pikes Peak Mountain because my water was starting to boil, which you don't even really need one at, 1,000-foot elevation. It steams off enough to put a little bit of water in it once a month. Other than that, the PQY fuel whatever adjuster, 5,000, I think. It's just it's the cheap one that they say to use on sloppy. Honestly, it's been great. It's worked perfect. Okay, the biggest thing that I think people struggle with is the wiring. So there's two different wiring harnesses with this truck, your body harness, your engine harness. Now, the engine harnesses, usually guys, if you're gonna run a stock computer, you just run the same cheap Chinese $130 harness. There's a theory out there that they basically all come from out of the same factory. Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. I didn't spring for an expensive one. Mine's a cheap eBay harness for whatever, and it's worked great. No issues. So that's fine. I would save your money on that. Buy the cheap one. Buy one, because rewiring an old harness, everyone says, oh, you can save so much money, and it's great to have one on hand if I need a plug, because I have 2 of them up there. Just buy a new one. They look better, they're clean, you don't have a bunch of extra wires and stuff to figure out. Just get a new one, it's $100. Where to actually spring for the money? Get yourself a good body harness. I need to look at what mine was. If you're gonna rewire your truck, which I did 100%, because these trucks are getting old. Any square body truck, they're getting some years on them. And I don't want to trust that. So almost every stitch of wiring in this truck is new. It's a painless harness, say $300. And to be honest, they're awesome. It comes with all the stuff. The wiring, the manual, the book that comes with it is like 100 pages long. It comes with sections to write notes in. And honestly, that's the one part that I'm so glad I spent the money on and just did it, because it made all the difference. Once you have that, I mean, that's almost it. I think as far as figuring out the big stuff, that's it. So if this helped you, awesome. Go out there and build something. Get it on the road and go have an adventure with your friends, because that's what this whole hobby is about. I don't have a racetrack. I can't go out on the roads and risk losing my license. So I don't really do a lot of hot rod stuff that I wish I could do, because, you know, most of us can't. But we can go on road trips and go have adventures and go camping. And I think that's as fun as anything. So get it done.